Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I took a listen to the earnings call for Tilray this morning and wanted to put together a few notes for you as Sundial shareholders, just to let you know what you could hear in the earnings call coming up for Sundial. And I believe Sundial is trying to structure themselves very similar to the way that Tilray is already structured. And you might see some further changes in their industry as they continue to try and diversify to bring shareholder value. You just can't keep burning cash. You can't continue to operate in this bloodbath environment up in Canada where you have these excise taxes. Check this out. 300,891 for cannabis. We have $63,369 in excise tax. Now, this beverage section is very interesting, but look at the gross margins across the board. Which one really jumps out at you? It is this beverage section, 55.2% on gross margins. Now, this is the Sweetwater brand, but the whole reason that we're looking at and bullish on Sundial for Alcana revenue recognition and that deal that they did, we really felt like this earnings would be the one that would pay us back for all of this patience that we've had. Now we're repricing equities in the market, and I still believe that there's a lot of potential that it's not priced in yet. There may be a certain extent of it that is priced in. We'll have to wait and see those numbers coming out. Of course, the price hasn't been any lower, but we're going to take a look at the charts at the end of this. But I really wanted to point out those excise taxes just to let you know, out of every dollar, 35 cents is being used to pay the government. And then on top of the oversupply in Canada, I mean, you're giving discounts to people. Then there's the black market. So you've got like so many things happening that are going to make Sundial very challenging to hold for 2023. I'll tell you that. And unless this legalization does get passed, that could be a major surprise. But it's only going to be a temporary boost for the stock because there's no real plan to enter the U.S. market right now. And they are looking at Zenabis, but wasn't Zenabis the worst part of Hexo? And now it looks like Tilray is going to be buying Hexo. That's what they said in this earnings call. So I found all of that very interesting. Hexo had a 180-day extension that they got approved. Let's take a look at the map for Tilray Brands. I mean, this is their map right here. We know Sundial pulled back out of this international footprint. They do have a little bit of traction, I believe Sundial does, just a little bit. But I believe Tilray is probably more positioned better, not only in the U.S. market, but internationally to take advantage of what might happen in the Germany market with the health minister saying they might continue to announce in the fall of 2022 some type of legalization, medical or even adult use, but they won't be able to recognize that revenue until 2024 because of the high barrier of entry and the 12 to 18 month timeline that it takes to complete to get everything done that needs to happen. But you can see based on this chart on Tilray Brands, I mean, they have the infrastructure built up to be able to take advantage of this first. And Tilray has been a first mover in the market. So now with this consolidation with Sundial, and after we recognize the revenue numbers for a liquor brand that's been established, does it have the ability to grow like Tilray's Sweetwater brand that may infuse THC in beverages and food and yogurt, you name it? They've got the infrastructure ready to do that. Now, one thing I do want to mention is they were talking about Israel, and this was one of the countries that the Zenabis, if approved, if it goes through the stalking horse bid for Sundial, everything happens with that. This is a market that's oversupplied and doesn't look like it's a good market to enter in, but it was one of the benefits of having Zenabis. Zenabis is a cash-burning cow, and I don't think that's in a good way. So, I mean, the 20 different countries that they're able to supply, Tilray just really stood out. Looks like they may face some pricing pressure in the future. I think 2023 is going to be challenging for the market because Germany has an energy crisis that they're going through right now. So where they're getting $8.50, they may be getting $3.50 this next year. So they have warned about some of these pricing pressure concerns just due to what's happening in the market. Now we've got an oversupply. We've got regulation barriers. We've got pricing compression. And everybody's holding on to the fact that legalization may happen, I will say that we are most likely at the bottom of the market here. And this is maybe a good time to not exit, to double down in your position if you're looking long. I'm talking about 2024. But the CEO in this Tilray call, his opinion, he said 3 to 4 years for legalization. So feel free to check that out. It was an hour and 33 minutes. Let's get straight into the charts. But before we do that, I want to take a look at the financials. Here's the gross margins for Tilray: 30% gross margin, 31% gross margin, and Sundial, -11 and 19. The reason I point that out is because I believe that you may see Sundial try and do something in the wellness section. They may try to acquire a company so that way they can avoid this excise tax and also try and grow their beverage section, which is getting strong revenues there. So something to think about. But let's go ahead and get in to the charts. Let's take a look at SNDL. What's happened these last few days? I want to move this from the 30-minute chart. I want to go into the 1-day chart, and I also just want to see what's happening this week. And then I want to change the type of candles that I'm looking at. I don't want to look at candles. I want to look at my high-low chart, so that way I can just get the price points. And I want to zoom in just to see what my low price has been the last few days. And that has been 212, 218, and 220. So you can see it is slightly increasing. But if we go back to the candle chart and we take a look at the green candle, you can see it started today, but it was weak. It was very weak. And if you look at FinViz, the volume, like I thought, was going to start, it was going to start fading or falling out. Now, of course, after earnings, it's going to pick up a little bit. But is this just a sign of a future to come for Sundial? Will it start fading away as this price starts getting higher? I mean, will this be a great opportunity to capture your profits? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, but I'm going to give it I've got to listen to the call, but if this gets out of bed and I'm able to lock in profits, man, I think a lot of us are waiting to lock in profits. I have not cost averaged down yet. I am still waiting. I was just a little disappointed that this did not break through the 234, and I have not cost averaged down yet. I think patience is king, and also my cost average isn't all that bad right now. And I just want to make sure that I get my biggest bang for my buck. So I'm going to continue to watch this one. I'm going to continue to give you updates, and we'll take a look at this probably next week. So I'm going to do some additional research on the Alcana brand because I know we were given a few days to give us something to chew on. Is this a company that is going to be able to grow? Are they going to be able to grow their Spirit Leaf brand? I'm not very bullish on the Canadian market as far as cannabis for the number of reasons that I've discussed in this video, but I'm looking for something to hold on to. So nothing that I like about the Canadian market in cannabis right now. They have to change legislation, and I'm not sure that that's going to happen immediately. I don't know that Sundial plans on going into the U.S. market. They have cash to be able to make a move. It's going to have to be something pretty cool. But just because they plan on buying something, that just makes their balance sheet a little bit weaker in the short term, and it's going to take time for them to work that out. Zenabis is cash burning, and I believe they're a little bit behind in the medical field. I believe Tilray's better positioned. So Tilray, let me know in the comments below if you've thought about buying Tilray. I'd like to hear what you have to say, and I'll see you in the next video.